Shalom, brothers and sisters. Most High in Christ bless. I'm Officer Mattathias.
Also see.
Alright, so today's lesson is on how to deal with family members being new in this truth. Alright, a lot of people, as you should be. You should be happy that you found out that you're an Israelite and now you must keep God's commandments to make it to the kingdom of heaven. So we're going to touch a few spots where people who's new to the truth, where they go wrong. Alright, Lord's will that you get edified through the scriptures we bring out today. I always started with Ecclesiastes 12 and 13 because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what anybody says. No matter what I say, OC says, no matter what you think. You got to keep God's commandments, all right? And that's it. Give me that.
Ecclesiastes chapter 12, verse 13. Let us hear the conclusion of the whole matter. Fear God and keep his commandments.
Read.
For this is the whole duty of man.
So that's the only reason we got breath in our bodies, is to keep God's commandments, all right? So like I touched on earlier, so when you first, your first week or your first day, you find out who you are. You want to run and tell everybody because that's the gospel. That's the good news, that we are the Israelites and Christ is coming back to save us from our enemies. All right, give me Romans 10 and 1. All right, but you got to understand that you are a baby and you don't know nothing, all right? And this is what you're feeling right here, the same thing Paul felt. Give me that.
Romans chapter 10, verse 1. Brethren, my heart's desire and prayer to God for Israel is that they might be saved.
So he prayed, and his desires is that all Israel can be saved. And there's nothing wrong with that. I want all my people to be saved.
Right.
But I know I got just a little bit of knowledge to know that all of my people are not going to be saved. All right? And I can even admit myself, me and OC, when I first found out, I went about it the wrong way. I didn't know anything, and I'm just running my mouth. I may have actually ruined some people's thought process about who the Israelites are because I didn't know how to handle it correctly. All right, from there, let's go to Hebrews 5 and 12, so you don't make the same mistake that I did. All right, this right here, as soon as you find out who you are, as soon as you get a little bit of knowledge, you want to share it. That's fine, but you got to be wise about it. All right, give me that.
Hebrews chapter 5 and verse 12. For when for the time ye ought to be teachers.
So, after 2 weeks, after a month, you're not ready to be a teacher, all right? So you shouldn't be teaching. Read that again.
For when for the time ye ought to be teachers, ye have need that one teach of you again.
That one do what?
That one teach of you again.
One teaches you again. Teach you the correct way how to conduct yourself amongst your family members, all right? And Lord's will, this class will give you that guidance that you need, all right? Give me Wisdom of Solomon chapter 12 verse 10. Because the first step, you got to realize, all right, all family members, they're not going to get it. I know it hurts, but it's the truth. All right, the scripture I'm about to bring out, normally we use this about the other nations, particularly Esau. But in this context, it's not just them. You got to understand, just because you Israel does not mean you're going to make it to the kingdom or you're righteous. We got a lot of wicked Israelites. All right, give me verse 10.
Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12 and verse 10. But executing thy judgments upon them by little and little, thou gavest them place of repentance.
So, just like in 2015, the Most High God is using us to tell our family members is going to give them a place to repent. It's going to give them the opportunity. All right? But a lot of them are not going to listen. That's what you have to understand. Read.
Not being ignorant that they were a naughty generation.
Now, a lot of our people, that's why we're in captivity right now. Because our forefathers were the naughty generation. Right. All right? Read.
And that their malice was bred in them.
That their what?
That their malice was bred in them.
So, even though they came through the seed, their malice was bred in them. The Most High God has people, he made people for a certain purpose. All right? Read.
And that their cognition would never be changed.
Never be changed. Give me verse 11.
Verse 11. For it was a cursed seed from the beginning.
It was a cursed seed from when?
From the beginning.
So, some family members, they were already damned. All right? Because the Most High God needed some of our family members to fall so the other nations could rule over us, so he could free us from the other nations and show his glory.
Right.
All right? So it was already preordained. There's nothing you can do about it. All right? From there, give me Psalms 58 and 3 to even give more clarification and understanding to that. All right? Because I know it hurts. We love our mothers, fathers, aunties, cousins, uncles, but The scripture's true. All right, and there's nothing we can do to change that. Give me that.
Psalms chapter 58 and verse 3. The wicked are estranged from the womb.
From when?
From the womb.
So, at the very beginning, the Most High already knew who was going to be righteous, who was going to be wicked. Read that all the way through for me.
The wicked are estranged from the womb. They go astray as soon as they be born.
Right.
Speaking lies.
As soon as they're born, and you can kind of tell that. Sometimes you can just say, that's a bad behind child. I don't know what's wrong with that child. And he grows up to be a gangbanger. He ends up being a murderer. But sometimes you can just tell. Some people just ain't right. And it's not by accident. All right. You know what? Give me Jeremiah 1 and 5 to touch on, to stay around that area. All right. Because you got to understand, even though there's wicked people that's just going to be wicked from birth until death, there's also righteous people as well. Give me that.
Jeremiah chapter 1 verse 5. Before I formed thee in the belly, I knew thee. And before thou camest forth out of the womb, I sanctified thee. And I ordained thee a prophet unto the nations. He ordained thee a prophet. So from the beginning, the Most High God already knew who was going to be righteous. All right. From there, I want to add a precept to that as well. Right. Give me Sirach 1 and 14 to go along with that. All right. Y'all got to understand, all of this is all by design of the Most High God. All right. We're just doing the work. Give me that. Sirach chapter 1 verse 14. To fear the Lord is the beginning of wisdom. And it was created with the faithful in the womb. So it was already set. The faithful, the righteous, that's gonna die for Christ in the Most High. That's already set. All right. So all you are is a vessel of the Most High God. You're doing the work for the Most High God here on earth. All right. From there, give me Romans 9 and 6. Just to show some Israelites are going to be righteous. Some are going to be wicked. All right. Give me Romans 9 and 6. Romans chapter 9 verse 6. Not as though the word of God had taken none effect. For they are not all Israel which are of Israel. So just because you're of the seed does not mean you're going to be that faithful one from the womb. All right. So you got your righteous and your wicked. Give me Matthew 10 and 34. We're going to touch on the parable of the wheat and the tares. All right. So you're going to grow up. You're going to live right amongst them. You're going to be right next to the wicked. All right. And the Most High did this on purpose. Give me that. But Matthew chapter 10 verse 34. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. So the Most High God did not come to send peace on earth. It's contrary to Christianity. All right. Everybody's looking at this blonde-haired, blue-eyed white man talking about if he loves everybody. Read that again. Think not that I am come to send peace on earth. Read. I came not to send peace, but a sword. For I am come to set a man at variance against his father, and the daughter against her mother. Read. And the daughter-in-law against her mother-in-law. Read. And a man's foes shall be they of his own household. Should be they of his own household. All right, that's what you got to understand. So when it comes to family, that's that wicked versus the righteous right there. That's that conflict. Because if you were both righteous, what's the conflict about? All right. Now, jump up to verse 32. Verse 32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father, which is in heaven. So, when it comes down to that battle or that strife or that conflict between you and your family members, you must keep this in mind. Because if you break, you feel what I'm saying? If you stumble, if you don't hold strong for the name of the Lord, it's in vain. All right, so read that again for me. Matthew chapter 10 verse 32. Whosoever therefore shall confess me before men, him will I confess also before my Father, which is in heaven. Exactly. So, it's evident and it's obvious through these scriptures that you will have some wicked family members. All right, but on the flip side, they may be wicked at the beginning, but they may turn out to be righteous at the end. All right, from there, give me 1 Corinthians 4 and 5. Because we're not God, we're not Christ. So we can't make that final decision. So don't just push your family members away. Deal with them the same way Christ dealt with you. All right, he was patient with you through your sins. Read. 1 Corinthians chapter 4 verse 5. Therefore, judge nothing before the time. Do what? Judge nothing before the time. So, you never know. And you know, just like Paul's prayer, we pray that all of our people can be saved. So that's what we need to be praying about. That they do wake up to this truth and to the knowledge that they are Israelite. All right, from there, let's go to Matthew 13 and 25. All right, to talk about the righteous and the wicked growing right next to each other. All right, this is the parable of the wheat and tares.
Give me that.
Matthew chapter 13, verse 25. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed in thy field? From whence then have it tares? He said unto them, An enemy hath done this. The servant said unto him, Wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, Nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them.
Exactly. So he said he's trying to separate. Put it like this. Put it like this. In the days of Noah, all right, when he had to destroy the earth, all right, he was about to destroy it all, but he preserved the earth just because there was a righteous man left. All right, so what did he do? He gave Noah years to build that ark. So when he did destroy it, he would be preserved. That's the same thing he's doing now. He's giving us time to get ourselves right. So when he does come and destroy the wicked place, we will be preserved. All right. Did you touch 30 yet? I want to read down to 30.
Verse 30. Let both grow together until the harvest. And in the time of harvest, I will say to the reapers, Gather ye together first the tares, and bind them in bundles to burn them. But gather the wheat into my barn.
That's exactly what's going to happen. Nuclear fire is going to come here to Babylon the Great. And the righteous will be preserved through the chariots that the Most High is going to send to keep his people. All right. From there, let's go to John chapter 13 and 34. To stick on the topic of being patient with our wicked family members. All right. 13 and 34.
John chapter 13 verse 34. A new commandment I give unto you, that ye love one another, as I have loved you, that ye also love one another.
All right, so we have to love our brothers and sisters the way that the Most High and Christ loved us. All right, because before we woke up to who we were, we lived in sin. He could have put us to death at any time. So now the Most High God put the Spirit on you to wake up, and now you can't give your brother or your sister or your mother the time of day just because they don't get it that fast. What about you? The Most High God could have cut you off as well. Right. So we must be conscious of that at all times. All right, to show love. What's an example of showing love to your brothers and sisters? Leviticus 19:17. All right, showing love doesn't mean overlook their sins. That's not what it's saying. Matter of fact, give me 1 John 5 and 3. We need to find out what love is first. All right, according to the Bible.
1 John chapter 5 and verse 3. For this is the love of God, that we keep his commandments, and his commandments are not grievous.
All right, that's love according to the Bible. Now give me Leviticus.
Leviticus chapter 19 verse 17. Thou shalt not hate thy brother in thine heart. Thou shalt in any wise rebuke thy neighbor, and not suffer sin upon him.
And not suffer sin upon him. That is love according to the Bible. All right, because you are trying to provoke them to good works, which is keeping God's laws. All right, from there, let's go to Sirach 2 and 1. Because a lot of people in this truth, and this in the road, period. One of your biggest strongholds is going to be your family, because a lot of y'all see y'all family higher than the Most High. Y'all would do anything for your family members just because they're your family members. But these are the same family members that talk about you behind your back, same family members that will steal from you, but you say, oh, that's my cousin, oh, that's my brother, I'll die for my brother. Why would you do all of that, but you can't stop buying and selling on the Lord's day? You feel what I'm saying? But you'll do anything for a wicked family member. That's why you must examine yourselves at all times. All right, give me Sirach 2 and 1.
Sirach chapter 2 verse 1. My son, if thou come to serve the Lord, prepare thy soul for temptation. So, if this is a big temptation for you, just know that this is gonna happen. Because you love your family members that much, the Most High gonna send this right here to prove you. Because he has to see if you love your family more than you love the Most High. All right, from there, give me Proverbs 12 and 26. All right, because as a repentant Israelite, you're a different person now. So the things you used to do, you can't do with your family members anymore. All right, give me that. Proverbs chapter 12 verse 26. The righteous is more excellent than his neighbor.
Is more what?
Is more excellent than his neighbor.
All right, according to Deuteronomy 6 and 25, righteousness is the keeping of God's commandments. So it says the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. So yes, you are now better than that wicked family member. Right. And believe it or not, they gonna start looking at you. Who does this nigga think he is? No. What you mean you keeping it? No, you can't keep God's commandments. Don't look down on us for not keeping God's commandments.
Can I say something?
Go ahead.
All right. Amos chapter 5 verse 10. They hate him that rebuketh in the gate, and they abhor him that speaketh uprightly. So understand, brothers and sisters, when you are bringing the truth to your family, the scripture says they are going to hate you because you're speaking uprightly. All right?
Right, exactly. They will hate you. They'll speak all types of wickedness behind your back, and it's going to get back to you. All right? That's going to happen. All right? Same way they hate Christ, they're going to hate us the same way. All right, from there, let's go to 2 Corinthians 5 and 17. Just to show you can't be around your family members the way you used to. All right? It's not saying you can't be around them, but you got to understand, you are righteous now. You're not a nigga or a spick. You're not that anymore. Give me that.
2 Corinthians chapter 5 verse 17. Therefore, if any man be in Christ, he is a new creature.
He is a what?
He is a new creature.
Read.
Old things are passed away. Behold, all things are become new.
Are become new. So, family cookouts on the Sabbath. No. Drinking with wicked family members. No. Not to say that drinking is a sin, but why would you take part in something like that with wicked people? Right. Because then you're going to have your cousin's girlfriend start getting all drunk, getting all fast tipsy. She going to start doing stuff. You don't need to be around that. Right. You don't know what can happen with a sinner. Right. If you're drinking around the righteous, you don't got to worry about stuff like that. Right. All right? Give me Exodus 23 and 2. The relationships you have with them, it is going to change. All right? You can't be around them the same way. All right? But you can spend time with them, but just take the time. Give me that.
Exodus chapter 23 and verse 2. Thou shalt not follow a multitude to do evil.
You should not follow a multitude, whether that be your family or friends. You should not follow a multitude to do what?
Evil.
To do evil. All right? That is a commandment. All right? From there, give me Deuteronomy 13 and 6. All right? To show you how serious, according to the law, this is. All right? Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 13 verse 6. If thy brother, the son of thy mother.
So it says, if thy brother. So this is a family member. The son of thy mother. Read.
Or thy son. Or thy daughter. Or the wife of thy bosom.
So it's naming family members. So just say family in general. Read.
Or thy friend, which is as thine own soul.
Read.
Entice thee secretly, saying, let us go and serve other gods.
So the commandment was to not follow the multitude to do evil. So this is the follow-up from that. Read.
Which thou hast not known, nor thy fathers, namely of the gods of the people which are round about you.
So, present day 2015. So you got your wicked Jake mom saying, child, come around for Thanksgiving. No, you need to come. You said grandmama's birthday this weekend. You ain't gonna come? That's what it's saying. That's following the gods of the other nations. All right, read.
Nigh unto thee, or far off from thee, from one end of the earth even unto the other end of the earth. Thou shalt not consent unto him.
Thou shalt do what?
Thou shalt not consent unto him.
So you got to be like, nah, mom, I can't do that. All right, because according to the law, I shall put no other gods before the Most High God of Israel. All right, that's when you love your family member. Right. That's when you show them the correct way. It didn't say black. No, nigga, you wicked as hell. It didn't say that. It said you should consent to it. Correct them according to the law. All right. If they don't want to hear it, they don't want to hear it. But there's a way you conduct yourself with your family members. All right. Is that verse 10 yet?
Nope. Nor hearken unto him. Neither shall thine eye pity him.
Read.
Neither shalt thou spare him.
So that's what this is saying. Don't let them get under your skin, because your family members know you pretty good. They know what's gonna make you, click. They know how to get under your skin to make you change your ways. But it's saying, don't let them do that. So if you know by being on the phone with your mother or brother or sister, if you know talking to them too long gonna soften you up, get off the phone. All right? If you know that seeing them face to face, them cooking you something is going to change your mind, don't go to that house. All right? Read.
Neither shalt thou conceal him, but thou shalt surely kill him.
That shall surely what?
Thou shalt surely kill him.
All right. So according to the law under Moses, that would have been death. Right now, it's grace. So we're not going to kill nobody. All right? We're just going to do this. Ephesians 5 and 11. If you got a wicked family member that's just that wicked, they don't want to hear nothing, this is what you got to do. All right?
Ephesians chapter 5 and verse 11. And having no fellowship with the unfruitful works of darkness, but rather reprove them.
Reprove them. Have no fellowship, all right? But rather reprove them. So if they just to that extent where they just can't, you can't even be around them without them trying to tempt you, just have no fellowship with them. All right, and just keep it moving. Give me Acts chapter 10, verse 31. All right, because then you got some family members that's not going to just, you know, show their wickedness on the sleeve. They might try to butter you up and make it seem like they actually care because that was your favorite cousin or that's your favorite auntie, right? But let's see what the scripture says.
Acts 10, 31?
34.
Oh. Acts chapter 10, verse 34. Then Peter opened his mouth and said, of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. No respecter of persons. So it don't matter what they were. All right, it don't matter if they're your favorite cousin or auntie. What the scripture said? Of a truth, I perceive that God is no respecter of persons. No respecter of persons.
So they got to go through the same stuff you got to go through. All right, there's no in between. From there, give me Matthew 12 and 49. All right, because you got to understand, you're a new creature now. So your family members in the world, they're your family members in the world. Let's see who your new family is. All right.
Matthew chapter 12, verse 49. And he stretched forth his hand toward his disciples.
Read.
And said, behold, my mother and my brother. For whosoever shall do the will of my Father.
Whosoever shall do what?
Whosoever shall do the will of my Father, which is in heaven.
Read.
The same is my brother.
My brother.
And sister.
And sister. Those are your new family members now. Those who keep the commandments of the Most High God of Israel. All right. That's what you must understand. All right. From there, give me Luke 16 and 9. All right. Luke 16 and 9. Because just because, you know, they don't want to keep the commandments, don't cut them off, because you may need them. You may fall on hard times. All right. They're still your mother. They're still your father. You're still supposed to honor them. All right. Give me that.
Luke chapter 16, verse 9. And I say unto you, make to yourselves friends of the mammon of unrighteousness.
Make to yourself what?
Friends of the mammon of unrighteousness. That when ye fall, they may receive you into everlasting habitation.
So when you hit hard times will come. All right, that's why the Most High God put this in here. Hard times are gonna come. He said, use those people as your safety net. All right, don't deal with them falsely. You deal with them in righteousness. All right. From there, to follow up, go to Sirach chapter 3, verse 2, and then I want you to jump down.
Gotcha.
Because we are still supposed to honor our parents. All right, give me that.
Sirach chapter 3, verse 2. For the Lord hath given the father honor over the children, and have confirmed the authority of the mother over the son.
All right, so that's the order right there. They still had the authority. You know, as a man, you leave your house. As a woman, you cling to your husband. Jump down to verse 8. This is the point, though.
Verse 8. Honor thy father.
Do what?
Honor thy father and mother, both in word and deed.
Word and deed. Be truthful with them. You could take them out to dinner. You say, hey, Mom, you know, I want to take you out. Let your light shine in front of them so they can see the change in you. But still honor them and reverence them as your parents, all right? From there, let's go to Galatians 6 and 10 to follow up with that. All right? Because as Israelites, we got to deal with our family members in wisdom, okay? All right, give me that.
Galatians chapter 6, verse 10. As we have, therefore, opportunity, let us do good unto all men.
Unto who?
Unto all men.
All right, as we get the opportunity, man, let's do good. Because if you really love your brothers and sisters, your mother and father, you do want them to repent. All right, be that example. Every time you have the opportunity, do what?
Do good unto all men.
From there, let's go to Jeremiah 2 and 33. All right. Even though, you know, you need to take those opportunities and do good to them, don't get it twisted. Don't stoop down to their level, because you got to remember the righteous is more excellent than his neighbor. All right, give me that.
Why trimmest thou thy way to seek love? Therefore, hast thou also taught the wicked ones thy ways?
So don't trim your ways, all right? So if they say, hey, I can only, you know what? I want to go out to eat. I hear what you're saying, child, but I can only go on Saturday. Well, say, I can't take you. I can't take you. That's the only day. I'm sorry. I really did want to do something for you, but I cannot do it. Don't let them seduce you, because they will try. All right, because it's bred in them. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew 5 and 16. Touched on letting your light shine before them. All right, so they can see the difference in you.
All Matthew chapter 5, verse 16. Let your light so shine before men, that they may see your good work.
That they may see what?
That they may see your good work.
That's what we have to do as Israelites, all right? According to Proverbs 6 and 23, The light is the law of God. All right. So they'll see your fringes. They'll see that you have a beard as a man. They'll see as a daughter that you got clothes on. All right. They will see your good works. All right. From there, let's go to 1 Thessalonians 5:22. Because when we are in front of our family members, we must be keeping God's laws. All right. We can't give them anything negative to say. Give me that.
1 Thessalonians chapter 5 verse 22. Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Do what?
Abstain from all appearance of evil.
Abstain from all appearances of evil. All right. So even something as little as this. Say your wicked mama come over, and she see bacon and pancakes. Oh, y'all got bacon in there. I said, no, that's turkey bacon. I'm gonna show you the pack. Don't let, because a Negro will do something like that. Negroes are simple. You make sure that they know exactly what's going on. It says abstain from all appearances of evil. All right. Now we're finna switch gears. All right. In regards to married life, because a lot of brothers and sisters, y'all coming in waking up to this truth, but your spouse still ain't woke up yet. All right. From there, let's go to Amos 3:3. All right. Because a lot of people is dealing with this in Israel. All right.
Amos chapter 3 and verse 3. Can two walk together except they be agreed?
Can two walk together except they be agreed? No, it's not going to happen. It's impossible. Just like why the Most High said that. He said, keep the laws. We didn't. We can't walk together. It's that simple. Because as the man, you're the Lord of that house. If your wife don't want to listen, can y'all walk together? No. You're speaking two different things. From there, give me 2 Corinthians 6:14. All right. To just follow up with that.
2 Corinthians chapter 6 verse 14. Be ye not unequally yoked together.
So it's a commandment. It says, be ye not what?
Unequally yoked together with unbelievers.
With unbelievers. All right. From there, let's go to Matthew 6:24. All right. So according to the law, my bad, brother, we are not to be with unbelievers. Okay, give me that.
Matthew chapter 6 verse 24. No man can serve two masters.
No man can serve two masters, because this is what you got to understand. Say as a man, you woke up to the knowledge that you are an Israelite, right? Now you're trying to keep God's commandments, but at the same time you're trying to please your wicked wife. Read that again.
No man can serve two masters.
No man can serve two masters. Read.
But either he will hate the one and love the other.
So you're going to neglect one or the other. Either your wife's not going to be happy and you're going to serve the Most High regardless, or you're going to neglect the Most High and you're going to serve that woman. All right. From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians 7:29. All right. So as married couples, whether both of you believe or only one of you believe, this is how we all have to be. Give me that.
1 Corinthians chapter 7 verse 29. But this I say, brethren, the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
Read that again.
But this I say, brethren, that the time is short. It remaineth that both they that have wives be as though they had none.
So the time is short. We have no time to play around. So if you have a wife, okay, all praises. That's good. But you still got to be doing the work for the Most High. Don't let that woman or that man control how you serve the Most High. All right? It's the Most High, Christ, man, woman, and children. You got to have that order in your head at all times. All right? Let's go to, jump down to 33.
Verse 33. But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world.
So that's just showing you right there. You have to put your priorities in perspective. All right? Because if you are worried about that woman or that man, you're going to be worried about how you're going to please them rather than how you're going to please the Most High. Read.
But he that is married careth for the things that are of the world. How he may please his wife.
Read.
There is a difference also between a wife and a virgin. The unmarried woman careth for the things of the Lord.
Read.
That she may be holy both in body and in spirit. But she that is married careth for the things that are of the world. How she may please her husband.
This is why Paul said we must be as if we are not married, because the Most High is above all. All right, from there, let's go to Ephesians 5:25. So as long as you know that you can't stay like that, well, something's got to give. It's either she or he is going to repent, or he or she has got to go. All right, but say you just found out, don't kick your wife out or leave your husband. No, be patient with them, just like Christ was patient with you. Give me Ephesians 5 and 25.
Ephesians chapter 5 verse 25. Husbands, love your wives, even as Christ loved the church. Just like Christ loves Israel, you got to do the same thing. And we're a rebellious house, man. We put all of this on ourselves. All right. Christ, the Most High, should have killed us a long time ago. Matter of fact, can you give me Ezra 9 and 13? Yes, sir.
All right. Christ should have put us to death a long time ago. All right. So you got to put yourself in your spouse's shoes. The way the Most High God spared your life, you got to be thinking the same thing. Give me that.
Ezra chapter 9 verse 13. And after all that has come upon us, for our evil deeds, and for our great trespass.
Read.
Seeing that thou, our God, has punished us less.
Punished us what?
Has punished us less than our iniquities deserve.
So we deserve death. All right. So don't just don't kick them out like that, because you should have been put to death. So be patient. Deal with them in knowledge. All right. From there, let's go to 1 Peter 3 and 1. All right. Because we need to be patient, and this is an example of being patient with them. Read.
1 Peter chapter 3 verse 1. Likewise, ye wives, be in subjection to your own husbands, that if any obey not the word, they also may without the word be won by the conversation of the wise.
Be won by the conversation of the wise. So it's probably won't take a day, might not take 2 weeks. It may take 6 months to a year, but they're going to see something called consistency. All right, they're going to see it in your conversation, the way you carry yourself, the way you apply the laws. All right. From there, let's go to 1 Corinthians 12. All right, because it's going to take a process. It's not going to happen overnight. In most cases, it takes time. Read. 7 and 12.
1 Corinthians
chapter 7 verse 12. I'm sorry.
Chapter 7 and verse 12. But to the rest speak I, not the Lord. For if any brother have a wife that believeth not, and she be pleased to dwell with him, let him not put her away.
Don't put her away. Now, a good woman would do what her man says because she loves him. All right, pleased to dwell with does not mean she tolerates it. Pleased to dwell with means she keeps the commandments because she loves you. All right, that's what it means. Read.
And the woman which hath an husband that believeth not, and if he be pleased to dwell with her, let her not leave him.
Read.
For the unbelieving husband is sanctified by the wife.
It's sanctified by the wife. So it takes a process. She needs to, or he needs to be rehearsing these righteous acts as well. All right, and then over time they can be won over. All right, from there, give me Deuteronomy 4 and 9. We're gonna wrap up. All right. So after all of these scriptures, all right, it doesn't mean nothing if you're not taking anything from it and actually going over them and applying them, putting them to memory, so you can help the next brother or sister. Give me that.
Deuteronomy chapter 4 verse 9. Only take heed to thyself and keep thy soul diligent, lest thou forget the things which thine eyes have seen.
So the things that you see today, the words that you heard, you must be diligent. All right, read.
Unless they depart from thy heart.
Lest they do what?
Unless they depart from thy heart.
So if you're not diligently studying, if you're not diligently seeking the Most High God, it will depart from you. Read.
All the days of thy life. But teach them thy sons and thy sons' sons.
So this ain't just for you. Sirach 33:17 says we don't labor for ourselves. We labor for those who seek knowledge. All right. So you got to take from this, apply this, so you can overcome your struggles and teach the next man. From there, give me 1 Samuel 2 and 3.
1 Samuel chapter 2 verse 3. Talk no more so exceeding proud.
So don't be a talker in the streets. All right. It's not about that. Read.
Let not arrogancy come out of your mouth. For the Lord is a God of knowledge.
For the Most High God is a God of knowledge, so we can see through your folly. Read.
And by him actions are weighed.
So it's time to put up or shut up. All right. Keep these commandments in the faith of Christ or die. That's simple. With that, we say shalom.
Shalom.
Shalom, Israel. I'm Elder Nathaniel of Israel United in Christ. YouTube likes to shut our channels down, as some of you have noticed, ever so often. Subscribing to join IUIC will assure you will always stay connected to our YouTube accounts. We want to do our best to make sure this truth gets out. Please click and join our subscriber YouTube channel called Join IUIC to stay linked to all of our videos. So again, please make sure you subscribe to this Join IUIC channel to get your latest updates from all our YouTube channels. Shalom.